It's Wednesday, the 27th of July in the year 2022. I'm Tom Young, and I'm here for AnchorFM.com podcast called Money Shifts and the Family Money Farm group on Facebook to change the world. We are out to change the world. And that starts with the way we think about everything, the way we think about money and pay our taxes. You know, the topic today is what is EHLV, economic human life value. So we're going to talk about that today and how and why we need to capture that wealth that is being lost every day. You know, I said the other day on here, the old saying, you can't take it with you when you die, but you do. You take with you that economic value that could have been captured by the family, by the next generation, and so on. So it is the next true source of wealth. They always say, you know, what's guaranteed in life? Taxes and dying. So if we can create a profit, as morbid as that may sound to you, and you're saying, oh, morbid, it is the reality of economics. And I have not met too many grandparents that wouldn't do anything that was in their realm of capability for the grandchildren, the children, for the family as a whole. But we need to know how to do that, and that's what we're going to talk about today. We start every program with prayers for everybody in the world. This Wuhan virus that has gone around the world, and this economic war that we have going on with China, and it's a deep subject. I don't want to get into it. I'm not a reporter, a researcher, and all I know is what I read. I don't believe all of it, but I believe some of it because of the source of where it comes from. This pandemic virus has touched every life in the world at this point and continues on a daily basis. In the front page of our local newspaper today, the people notifying that they have COVID went down by 29% since last week. So, you know, so they have numbers and they keep showing them up, whatever. I have my beliefs and I'm not going to impose them on you. We need to pray to the Lord above for his guidance, for his wisdom, for his safekeeping of us all. We need to pray for those who have lost loved ones during this period. We need to pray for those loved ones who have been lost, that the Lord would open his arms and gather them up off to his kingdom of heaven above. We now have this Russia-Ukraine action going on, this war. Why they're doing it, I don't know. I don't understand it. I've been reading about it, but it hasn't really told me what really going on or why this is going on. They talk about biolabs and other things that are going on in Ukraine. These are deep political things that are going on around the world, money laundering and so forth. I don't know the truth. All I know, again, is what I hear and what I observe. And that's what I apply to what I talk about with people, because it really comes down to finances. And I know, you know, money is not everything. You know, it is evil for the love of money. You know, that is what's evil. Money is not bad. It's the love of money that is bad. And it talks about that in the Bible. But we need to know that God has a plan to prosper you, to make life better for you by simply following his rules. That's what it's about. I spend every day of my life polishing people's eyeglasses so that they can see the real potential in their future. Most people have given up that I have met. They have almost lost all of their hope. Oh, that's not me. It can't happen for me, you know, and on and on and on. And that's the beginning. I have a little book here, and I'll share it with you. It's called Hung by the Tongue. Great little book. I would highly suggest you buy it and read it. Francis P. Martin. There's the book, Hung by the Tongue. And it is so powerful. The words that you speak every day, you hear them in your ears and they influence you. Everything around you is about influence of you and influencing the decisions that you make every day. That's what advertising does, marketing, what you listen to on TV. You know, the CIA of the government has been known to consult movies so that when you watch the movie, your feelings, what you think about the movie and how you feel about that movie is impacted in some way. This is deep stuff, folks. You say, oh, it's conspiracy theory and on and on and on. Well, maybe it is, but the more I read and the more I listen to, I've heard the story about the Wizard of Oz. The original movie, The Wizard of Oz, was back in the 1930s, 1940s. And the story of the Wizard of Oz and the lion and the Tin Man and the straw man, all of that was all about political. There was a political message to that movie. And they weren't marching on Oz. In the movie, it was marching on Oz, but they were marching on Washington across the U.S. Do some research, and you will find that things aren't always as they seem on the surface. And the same thing applies to our money and the things that we do every day. We have to have clear thinking. We have to protect ourselves from wrong thinking. That means I need to read, I need to listen, I need to do research. And I need to not follow the norm. In other words, if you do what everybody else does, you only end up with the average of what everybody else got. That's the truth. So if you want to step out and be something different, do something different, people that do today what other people won't do will someday be able to do the things that other people won't be able to do. And they will have the things that other people won't have. It's a simple concept called discipline. What Nelson Nash taught me was always think long term. And you can't lose sight of that. And I believe today the problem in America or around the world is that people are trained because of the instantaneous results created by this computer that we use. We want it right now. Right now, I want it right now. And therefore, delayed gratification is not practiced or looked at or accepted. You have to work to get somewhere. Education didn't happen in one day. It took 12 years of regular school and another 4 to 6 to 8 years of college to get where you are today. That was a lot of programming that you went through in your mind, and here you are today. Do you think the teachers and the professors in college and in school had some influence on the way you think today? Do you think everything that they taught you was out of the textbook about history and all of the things that some of us know is true, but others of us don't know anymore? It's not taught that way. That befuddles me to death when I see young people coming out of college and they're anti-American, burn the American flag, and so on. I am totally wounded in my heart when I see that, is these people have been programmed to think this way. That they are not free thinkers. They were programmed to think that way by the professors and the teachers in the educational system. We need to step out of the norm and at least open-mindedly listen to the other side of the story. There was a great man, a great radio guy years and years ago, and that was his saying. And the excuse me. And the rest of the story is we need to listen and find out the rest of the story. Because if we don't start to do that, America, as you and I know it today, will be lost. It will not be the same ever again. Even now, it's not going to go back and be the same as it was once in the past. But the trajectory of society and where it is going has been influenced by the concepts of the Fabian society in our educational system. And if you don't know what that is, do some research. Do some searching on the internet. It's called the Fabian Society. That is the planning that has been going on for 100 years to bring socialism to bear so that the elite politicians become the king of the hill, the billionaires of the world become the one world government, and you and I enter a world of serfdom with nothing, owning nothing, and they control everything we are. Our government, the US government, now uses our paychecks as collateral to borrow from the Federal Reserve. And they have borrowed to a point where there is no turning back. There is no way to pay back what is owed. So what happens? Well, logically, what happens? Well, I guess bankruptcy. Imagine that America is bankrupt. And you have no idea what that would lead to, because it would mean they can't print money anymore. Because printing money from nothing and loaning it out to people would stop. Things would get very, very harsh in a future where America went bankrupt and couldn't pay its bills. We're not the world currency anymore. That would cause all kind of consternation. And they wouldn't be able to print money. If they can't print money, then there will be an automatic major adjustment to everything. I mean, even Social Security, within the next 6, 7, 8 years, when they run out of money, they say if it's not fixed or they don't find new money, everybody on Social Security will have an automatic 25% benefit cut straight across the board, because that's what the current collections would pay for. Imagine that they actually stopped borrowing money and paid for things as they go. I'm not sure that's even possible now, unless we totally get rid of all the career politicians that are in the system. So think up. You need to find a way to save money. Save money in the most appropriate way, where the government has least involvement in the money. And that's with a dividend-paying whole life insurance policy with a mutual insurance company specifically designed to accumulate capital, not focused on death benefit. The focus is on cash value. I have one of those policies that's 38 years old. I would have had to have earned 4.5% after tax to equal the cash value today from day one, all the premiums that I paid into that policy. And I have borrowed from the insurance company and leveraged that policy to buy automobiles, to do remodeling. But the government's not involved. And I didn't have to I didn't have to provide financial information, personal information that I don't want to share with anybody to be able to access that money. We're going to continue this journey about economic human life value. Let's get over the morbidity of having a profit when somebody dies. Corporations have been doing it for years, decades, and so have banks. It's called COLI or BOLI. Do some research. Corporate-owned life insurance. They buy insurance policies on the employees, whether it's a key employee, president of the company, or whatever, and then they use the policies to accumulate value in. It isn't about wishing you were dead. It's about the financial benefit of the cash value in those policies. Get my new book, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project. You can get it at Amazon, Barnes & Nobles. You can go to cfo-project.com. There it is, right there. Put in your name and email address, and you'll get an email with a link to download both of my new books, The Family Money Farm, The CFO Project, and The Financial Mastery Coaching Blueprint. Quote today. We didn't talk about a quote today. Let me close today with a quote. Again, Albert Schweitzer. I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know. The only ones among you who will be really happy with those who will have sought and found how to serve. Let me say that one more time. I don't know what your destiny will be, but one thing I know. The only ones among you who will be really happy are those who will have sought and found how to serve. We'll leave it go with that. We'll see you here in a couple of days again. God bless you all. My heart goes out to everyone. We pray for all who have been affected by the pandemic and the war in Ukraine and Russia. God bless you all. Have a great day.